Holy fuck. This thing is a fucking mess. Look at the coffee, all these guys. Coffee stains, dirt. Look at the floor. There's a broom in here for a reason. So that when you leave, this is disgusting. She's warming up. Let's go see if there's some paper towels so we can wipe this fucking shithole down. Get the boom up on top. Perfect. And we're out of cleaning supplies, so the only thing that we have is carpet cleaner. Hopefully it works. All right, we are good to go. It's saying I'm a little low on coolant, so we'll keep an eye on that. So first thing we're gonna do is climb up this pile. We're gonna be moving some dirt today in order to get prepped for topsoil. I tried starting this a little while ago. There was still frost in the ground. As you can see right there, there is no frost in the ground. Now the only thing when we're doing this is I'm gonna have to separate kind of different materials as they come, because there's some heavier stuff and then some lighter stuff, and I don't want to mix them together because obviously that's how you get your mixture when you're making topsoil. So we're gonna climb on top of this. We got a time lapse fired up. We're gonna cast some dirt, spend a couple hours doing this, and just get everything prepped. So what I did here was I actually took down the whole about 1.5 foot layer all the way back, because that top section was just really messy, muddy stuff, and it needs to dry out. So I cast it, as you guys watch on the time lapse, and I cast it up there so that it'll all dry out up there. Now what I'm gonna do is come back and grab this dryer stuff and just cast it back with me and just bale it back. I'm not really level, and that's one thing whenever you're casting dirt like this. If you're on an angle down like that, I'm gonna take so much more fuel and so much more time to actually get something turned this way, because it's just drying with weight. So I'm gonna do my best here and just level this out so that I have a nice level ground to start with. Okay, so we changed things up a bit. My old man stopped in and I said, do you mind getting in the Volvo and we can use it like a rock truck? So I'm situated up here on top of the hill. I just cleaned out a spot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my old man to back in here. I know I gotta clean it up a bit, but this material here is unbelievable. And this whole section that I'm ripping up here is just amazing material right now. It's nice and dry. It's exactly what I wanted to find. I'll show you guys here. Look at this stuff here. Why I like this is, yes, it might be like moist. I don't like that word, but it is moist. But it's nice and silty and sandy, and it's soil. It's not mixed with sand or anything. So this stuff's gonna be great for us to start. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, we got a little bit of snow last night. I told you guys I'd be back for day 2, and we're back. Look at this. A little bit of snow. It's crazy, just overnight, just snowed. So it's actually nice, so things aren't gonna be totally muddy, but I'm super happy that we cleaned out the tracks because they would have froze and that would have been a bitch. Let's warm her up. Okay, so on the last video, a few of you guys were like, hey, we wouldn't mind actually doing some voiceover stuff while we're looking at a time lapse to kind of explain a little bit what I'm doing. So this main pile here, to give you a little backstory, I got all this material. That's the one question I get. Where'd you get the material? This is from work over the last 15 years, accumulated soil from excavation jobs, septic system jobs. Material just comes from all of our work. Other companies and businesses actually dump material at my yard as well. What you guys just saw is I climbed on top of the pile that I was casting behind me. I actually didn't get far enough ahead, so you guys are gonna see. I left a little bit of a cut in front, but I came after later and cleared that spot up with the loader. But all this material here is gonna be casted, and it's basically being flipped to dry out, so that it's dry by the beginning of the season and I can move it over to my mixing station for the topsoil operation. There's more material than I really expected here. Is that a word, expected? Anyways, I guess that there's approximately 10 to 12,000 cubic yards sitting in this pile. That's just a rough calculation. So after this, I actually go in behind the pile and then I get in the loader and explain to you guys what I'm doing. Okay, we're in the loader here now, the 450 Komatsu. Basically what I was doing was I built a little ramp, and now I have a little area so that whenever we have tailings is the reject material that comes off the screener. And the problem is the rejects there's so much reject sometimes of the material that it gets closer and closer to the operation, thus leaving less and less room to actually have to work in. So we're gonna take some of these tailings. We just built a bit of a road. You guys watch a time lapse. I'm hoping that it holds up and it's not too mushy still, but we're gonna get going here and just move some dirt really, and get the tailings up and over into a hole that is open right now. So it kind of makes more sense to have the soil in that kind of area. But again, things are still really, really wet. So I'm just kind of doing what I can here, and we'll go from there. The loader, whole idea, that did not work out as planned. It's still way too mucky, and I need to move. All this is tailings, and I need to get all this back and behind. And it's still so mucky and soft, so it's no good. We're headed back home now to go get a bite to eat. It's warmed up a little bit now, and I just wanted to take this time to talk to everybody about my opinion on this whole essential, non-essential stuff. There's no doubt about it that if you're hearing all the clanking, that's mud hitting my tires right now, or hitting my wheel wells. There's no doubt about it that this year's definitely gonna be totally for sure. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna hit the revenue marks that I wanted to hit. But that being said, before I go forward anymore talking about this, I'm talking about construction industry and my business. I'm not talking about anybody else's business, restaurants, anything like that. I know nothing about those. But what I do know is that, like I said, this year our revenue is not going to be where I want it to be. Obviously, you know, we're going to be okay. I think that residential actually this year, which is surprising because normally it's commercial that is like, you know, it really bumps up your revenue because they're bigger jobs, but there's a lot of commercial jobs that aren't going ahead now because they're putting a hold on stuff. So it looks like residential will be we're doing more work. Now, residential in Ottawa normally stays busy, and why Ottawa is a good place for our business to be is strictly because it is a government town. It's the nation's capital. We have parliament here, so you have a lot of government workers. Government workers always get paychecks. Majority of them. Now, I'm not speaking for all people. I always have to be so careful with what I say because I get ripped apart in the comments for saying shit sometimes. But Regardless, lots of government workers, so our economy in Ottawa is kind of well protected in the residential side of it. Actually, a septic that we're firing up and doing next week is actually a government worker. So that's awesome. That's definitely good news for our business. We're going to get through it. We're going to make it through, but I just wanted to hop on here and let you guys know kind of my views on that. I'm not starting any, just random, trenching jobs, this or that, because it's not essential. But when I say we're firing up to do a septic system, that's essential because the customer actually has some sewage coming up outside, and we can't have raw sewage on somebody's lawn. So that's why we're actually going and doing that next week. There's a lot of discussions on a lot of different groups about what's essential, what's not essential. Obviously, everybody wants everything to be essential, and a lot of guys are definitely feeling strong-minded, at least on this group, this contractors group that's local in our area. I mean, there's guys who are, you can just tell, everything's going up for sale. People are selling stuff, trailers, stuff that they had stuffed in their backyard that is now for sale. And if you sit back and watch this, compared to 3 months ago, not even 2 months ago, on this app, so many people were buying stuff, and it was just bought this new triaxle, put it out for rental, bought a new shovel, bought a new trailer. And now it's the opposite. Everything's getting sold and people are selling off stuff because they're worried. And so they should be. It is a really scary time for business owners. I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat for this, and literally a guy was just writing about this the other day, basically saying how he thinks, raking up leaves and doing landscaping, he should be allowed to do it. Because he said the numbers that he does now affect his next winter time because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't, have any means of revenue in the winter time. I mean, do I see raking up leaves and doing an interlock laneway or doing some trenching around somebody's house, is that essential? I don't see it as essential, and that's my opinion on that. I think that the things that are essential are just what the government said. Infrastructure, sanitation, stuff like that needs to happen. You can't have raw sewage in places. You still need roads and bridges to go on. You still need hospitals being built. You still need all that stuff in the city. And it sucks because I know a lot of guys are definitely going to say, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. Well, I have a pretty successful business alongside my father. I kind of know what I'm talking about. And honestly, if you're one of those guys that are saying, well, I don't do anything in the winter and I only have my 6 months, I guess that's your kind of problem then. I don't know how else to word that other than maybe you should look at doing stuff in the wintertime then. I don't know why you choose not to. There's always work to do. There's always stuff that you can do. It's just if you're putting that out there, if you're willing to work hard enough like that. I don't like these guys that say, oh, I only cram my season into 6 months because we're seasonal. Dude, there's ways that you can profit off snow. I'm not saying you're getting rich at snow plowing. I know that it's a headache and it's a lot of money and it's hard to find good guys, but it's cash flow. It's money coming in. So I really don't agree with the people saying, screw the people that say we shouldn't be working because we only make our money in the summertime. Well, tough shit. Figure out how to make some money in the wintertime. Because I agree that right now, the only way to fix this situation, to fix the economy, is to get rid of the coronavirus. And that is the single-handed reason, guys, how we will fix this is to get rid of the coronavirus. So how do we get rid of the coronavirus? You stay the home. Oh, let us work. Yeah, I understand. You're hurting. I just pulled in the yard here. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I understand people are hurting all across the world right now. But one thing I really want people to understand is what I just said. The only way we're going to come out of this and the economy to come back is when this virus goes away. So a little short-term pain for long-term gain. Whatever you got to do to make it worthwhile, go. There's a lot of these guys that are complaining about their businesses not being able to survive, and they're driving around in $100,000 pickups. They got four-wheelers, boats, bikes, Sea-Doos. Maybe think about selling some of that stuff off in order to make your business survive. I told every single one of my employees that are still on payroll. Luckily, I'm in a situation where majority of my guys are on EI. Now, I do have 4 or 5 employees that are still on payroll. And I told them I'm willing to take, and I'm told them that I'm willing to take a pay deduction and not take my salary in order to keep them afloat. And I'm taking money out of my own pocket to keep my business afloat right now. And that's the things that we have to do as a business owner, and that's a sacrifice that we have to do that you guys don't see. The guys who type the hate comments down below, the guys who talk shit, you don't see what happens when this camera turns off. You don't know my business. You don't know my financials. You're not my CFO. Things are tough and things are hard, but that's business. This is right now, the world is challenging us right now. It's testing us, and only the strong will get through. So don't fall into people's other bullshit of negativity, saying, fuck, we need to be at work and we need to do this and do that. No, let's get rid of the virus and then we'll carry on from there. I don't normally get all revved up and kind of serious like that, but there's too much talk of people being like, sign the petition, let's get back to work, let's get back to work. No, essential workers, continue doing what you're doing. And I want to thank the nurses, the doctors, all the frontline workers, the true essential people. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for doing what you're doing, because I could never do that. You guys are the most strong-minded, strong-willing people out there right now, and I thank you, and we all thank you. That's it for this video. Sorry about the rant. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of construction material, isolating myself in the shovel at the yard, moving some dirt, getting ready for when we can open up for topsoil season. Take care, stay healthy, stay safe. I appreciate it. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care. And no, I didn't forget about you guys, the True Patriots channel that always watch the videos, guys, to the very end, which is right now. And if you happen to be one of those True Patriots, I want you guys to comment down below, thank you, frontline workers. Why thank you, frontline workers? I'm pretty sure that this is one of the most self-explanatory ones out there. They're out there grinding, working, risking their lives so that we can stay healthy sitting at home. Hope you guys watch the entire video to the very end. Make sure to comment down below thanking all the frontline workers. I appreciate you guys. Take care, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.